Hello everyone, it's time for another weekend play day with me. I have been working on a few things, just spending the weekend playing with different things and making ephemera. Let me show you what I did with some Mrs. Cogs images. I had told you previously that I had a bunch of extra Mrs. Cogs images that I had used part of the kit in journals and had these pieces left over, and I'm working on making things with them. I have made tags, pockets. I already showed these, most of them. I think I didn't show this one. This is on corrugated cardstock. Sounds like an alarm's going off somewhere. Little bit of vintage ledger back there and a little bit of ribbon through a slide, and I'll attach something to the top there, but I think I showed the rest of these. So it's really fun. This one is it's got a punch out of that little hole here, but I like those irregularities, so I left that. Nice little corner tuck there. So those are what I had already done, and then for these I took scraps of scrapbook paper and made little booklets. I just sewed an image to the front and added a few pieces, usually just 3 pieces of folded paper. This one had some printing on the back of this paper, so I added this to the inside. So they're just plain except for the image on the front. This one I folded like that. So there's different shapes. This one is put on vintage map paper because it's a vintage school room scene, and the little boy is writing on a globe that's hanging from the ceiling. So I put that one on a map, added this little number thing. Got 2 of those images. So that's something I did yesterday, just the booklets. I had all the other things done. I'm going to close my window because of that alarm. I was letting some cool air in before it gets hot here. So today I'm just playing with some colors. I made some colored cards and tags, and I'm just going to start and make some new ones. I have a couple that are done so that they're dry, and we can play with these after I demonstrate this. I've done things like similar to this before. I put one color down so I don't have to wait for that to dry. What color was I going to use? I think I'm going to use peacock feathers. So this color here is picked raspberry of distress oxide. Picked raspberry, and now I'm going to use peacock feathers. So what I do is I just rub this on my craft mat. And here's my spray bottle. I have a bottle of water that I can just... That is not my spray bottle. I almost sprayed distress ink on it. Distress spray. Here it is. Here's my empty water bottle. I mean, it's not empty. It's got water in it, but no color. So when I spray it on here, the water beads up on the craft mat. The color beads up. So if I lay this down in it, and it depends on what you do with it once you lay it down, the kind of color you get on there. If I rubbed it around, it would be a swirly color. If I dragged it through, it would be a streaky color. I want to try to get some of those speckles. So that looks pretty good. So I don't press down too hard because I don't want to flatten out all the droplets. And then, after I do that, I'm only using 2 colors. After I do that, I took some lined paper and picked up excess color, so then I can use these in another project. I can make journaling spots with these papers. I've got quite a few papers here that I've been coloring. And then I'll just take a paper towel and get the rest of it up. Just dry it a little bit. I just want to dry it so that it's not going to drip on things when I set it aside. Just enough. Alright, so now, these are 8.5 by 11 inch pieces of lightweight cardstock, by the way. So here's how I cut them once I have them colored. You can go ahead and color them any way you want to with whatever media you like to use, and add more than 2 colors if you want to. For these that I did yesterday, I did a little bit of spraying. I sprayed through a couple of stencils with some vintage photo, but I'm not sure if I like that, so I'm going to try doing, I mean, I do like it, but I want to try doing some without. So I'm going to cut some 3 by 5 pieces. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I did the 3 this way. 3 by 5 cards, so I can make journaling cards. Is that how I did it? I hope so. Oh, I've got to move this a little bit away from me so I don't keep clinking my watch on the tripod. Three by 5. That's 3 inches, so now I'm going to cut it in 5. And another 5. Nothing is going to go to waste, even this little piece that I'm cutting off right here. I have a use for that. I need to put a new blade in. I got new blades, but I'm waiting till I absolutely have to put one in. And then I have this strip that is just over 2.5 inches, and I'm just going to cut that into tags. So just to cut it in half, it would be 5.5 inches. And I'm going to cut these in half, so you will see what they become. So 1.5 inches, because they're 3-inch wide pieces. And I'll take my tag pieces and shape them into tags. However you like to do that. I'm not going to cut the holes in them just yet. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly cut another page because I need to have 2 different colors going on so that I can show you what I do with the little tiny pieces. That's why I had 2 dry ones prepared. these down to 1.5 inches. Cut my tags. Sorry, I know scissors are loud when you drop them. Okay, now for these little pieces, I'll take the tags and I'm going to swap the colors out. I'm going to put these here and these here. Well, I guess 2 little squares are going to be left over from each color because I only need 2 of each. But I can use them for some sort of collage, I guess. So I will fold this in half. I will take my little punch. So this makes a smaller corner than this one. So whatever, maybe one is 1/4 and one is an 1/8 inch. I'm not sure, but this one is smaller. So I'm going to slip the corner into that and round all of the corners. And ink around it, whatever color you want. I did black on the other ones because they were very distressed looking with the stencil spray that I did. But these I will use Vintage Photo. And you don't have to ink around them, to your preference, but I like it. And then I hold it on there, and then I punch it so that I know all the holes are going to line up. And then I can glue it on. So that's just a fun way to use that little extra scrap and give you a nice sturdy eyelet. And I can do the rest later. So I'll take this tag and a couple of these journal cards, a couple of these. I'll have these to do, so I will mix and match these little bits with all 3 of these colors. And these are the ones that I did yesterday. And these are the 3x5 cards. Oops, there's another tag. So we're just going to do some stamping. I want to talk about the stamps that I selected. I wanted to do something different, so I chose some fun and funky ones. So you see I have this one from Tim Holtz. These 2 came in the same set, and the set is called Serendipity. It comes with this word stamp, big word stamp that says Serendipity. She looks like she's sitting, so after I stamped her, I just drew this little shelf for her to sit on. But you could absolutely, you know, have a collage or have her sit on something. I also pulled out my Dina Wakley stamps that I never use because they're, I don't know if they're a little too out there for me, but I like them. So I'm going to play with them today. So I stamped that one. But because of the background stenciling, and this one is really dark, I didn't want any light airy stamps. Let me show you if I can find one. I did another tag with a stamp that might not have been dense enough, I guess is the word, and I don't see it. I mean, it works. Oh, here it is. So it's flowers, but they're just lines, and so they don't show up as well on that darker background, which is why I wanted to try not stenciling. So then I got these out, which were, especially this one, she has a dark dress, a solid dress, but they both look good on these. And this one didn't have quite as much stenciling on it, so her face showed up all right. I took my acrylic sheet, the clear sheet that has the image on it, and held it up and thought that was too busy for her face. You know, I mean, I think it would work, but I previewed it or debuted it or auditioned it, whatever you want to say. This, some of them don't have the black image like these little girls. They didn't have, I don't have one of those to try them out on. So that's enough talk, I guess. Let's start playing. Let me show you some of the stamps that I have pulled out, just some, so I can tell you my thought process behind pulling out these stamps. I already talked about these. Again, the darker, more solid images, and they're a little bit funky. I pulled out this one. It is solid, but it's got thinner lines, but I want to try that on the ones that don't have the stenciling. So I think I'll like that. Fun and funky is what I'm going for, so that's about as funky as you get. I've got these big dark words that I thought would be fun on these. This is from Blue Fern Studios. These designs, I thought they would be fun. And of course, I won't be doing all of these. I just pulled them out. I thought this jar of brushes might be fun. Do something creative every day. I think I'll use that. I got these word letter stamps that I never get to use. I got them mainly for art journaling, and I don't art journal so much anymore. But I would like to get back into it. So I thought I would just stamp a word with these letters. Obviously not a big word, because the letters are kind of big. So they would take up a lot of room. I got this one out just for the words. Memories, abundance, beautiful. I got these ladies out. Again, they are line drawings, but they have heavier line, especially her. She has a solid dress. She would be all right. Oh, excuse me. And then these that are just more ethereal looking. I could stamp on the ones without stenciling. I got out my fragments stamps, my scholar or what, professor stamp, and some of his funky stuff. You may notice that since the last time you saw these stamps, I took them out of these cases that I get from Stampin' Up! Because these are quite narrow, and these Tim Holtz sets were really too big. I had to kind of put them on top of each other, and then they got pressed together, and it wasn't good for them. So I moved them into these photo boxes. I don't know if I showed that to you before. And it's working well. They go in a case. So I have a case full of these boxes that I can access, and I know what kind of stamps are in it. I thought these butterflies would be good. This corner, that Harlequin pattern, and maybe even the quote. I've got my Ephemera girls and some of the Ephemera designs and some of the Ephemera words. So I have 3 sets of Ephemera stamps, I think, with the girls. Each one comes with one of the ladies and then a bunch of other stuff. So I put all the ladies in one box, all of the words and these little background squares in one box, and then all of the miscellaneous circles, hearts, butterflies, scissors, whatever happen to be. You know, that's just the miscellaneous. So it says Ephemera, Ephemera backgrounds and words, and Ephemera ladies. So, boy, just going through all those stamps and looking at them makes me itch to get my hands on them and get going. So I want to put these on before I lose them. These little pieces. Then we'll get busy stamping. So I'm using the black soot with these grungier looking pieces. And I can ink around the tag after I do the stamping. The circle didn't line, the hole didn't line up properly with that one, so I knew this one went with that one. My daughter bought me a luscious candle for Mother's Day. It says White Barn scented candle. I think she got it online. I know she got it online. Strawberry pound cake. So it's really pretty and it smells so good. I cannot believe how good it smells. I burned it in here just a little while yesterday and I can still smell it. But I had it burning the other day when I was working in here, and it was in the living room right outside my craft room here. And I lit it and then forgot, and I was in here and I kept thinking, somebody's baking something delicious and I can smell it. And then I realized it was my candle. So even though I don't have the candle lit, I'm still enjoying the smell. Okay, let's start playing. Since I've already done some tags, I'm going to do a couple journaling cards. I can make them this way or this way, depending on what I pull out to use. I'll use one of my not quite so solid stamps on this one and see. Let's try this. I can put that little quote on there. It says some things have to be believed to be seen. Usually it's some things have to be seen to be believed. Oh, Stampin' Up. It's an older Stampin' Up stamp. Now I got black ink on me. That's very annoying. They have fixed the problem. If you buy a newer Stampin' Up stamp set, they stick better. But I have, on some of my older ones, I have applied Aleene's Tack It Over and Over glue, which really helps, but I'm just sticking a little glue stick on my block. That helps temporarily. And I can wash the glue stick off. And I will round the corners of this tag. It's got some paper stuck in there. See if it works now. Yep. I should probably do 2 or 3 with each style, each stamp set or a style of stamping, in case I want several cards in one journal, which I usually do. The backs have color on them from when I, did the whole thing, but I like it that way. It's not just white, and it's still light enough that you can write on. I think it looks good with the speckled color on it. That journal card is done. I could attach some fabric or lace or something to it when I go to use it if I want to. So I better make another one. I'll make 3. I could stamp that. Just stamp that on it. Yeah. I have an idea for something to do with it after I stamp this on it. Now I'm going to stamp this on a piece of scrap paper. I'll just use this. Doesn't have to be dark, it's just dark enough for me to see so I can cut it out. I'm just going to cut around this shape. Now this is going to be a mask. If you wanted to use this technique a lot, you could get a removable glue stick and just put a dab on it and stick it on here, and then you can peel it off. I don't have removable glue stick, so I'm going to leave it there and hope it stays. You can now stencil over it or stamp over it. I'm going to stamp a background with my script stamp. And I took this off the block and I peeled that part off the block, of course, so I could put it on the back of the stamp, back of the rubber, and I put it on upside down. So, you know what? I didn't want to do this in black. I'm going to stamp this on a scrap so I don't waste that ink I just used. I wanted to do that in a lighter color. I'll use this for something else sometime. Make sure all that black ink is off because I'm going to ink it with kind of a caramel color. Oh, it's called Soft Suede. Soft Suede from Stampin' Up. I love this color. position that, and then stamp this, and it says upside down, so my print is right side up here, but I know I have to turn it because I wrote myself a note. And then you have that blank spot for writing in. You did not stamp over that label. That's a masking technique. Probably many of you are familiar with it, but I will share for those who aren't familiar with it. And I will keep this in my little case with the stamp so I can use it another time. That looks really pretty. I like that. These might go well with the journal that I'm going to be working on soon. Maybe this week. I have to see if the colors go. I'm not sure when this video will be posted because I just did a weekend craft yesterday, so I might save this video for next weekend, in which case these tags might have already been used if I use them in the journal I'm going to make this week. Am I confusing you now? I confuse myself sometimes. I think I stamped or cut something that was taped together, so there's some stickiness in there. So my little pieces stick, and if they stick in the cutter part, it doesn't want to cut. Because there's already a little piece of paper stuck in there. I don't know how I can clean that, but I'll work on it. Alright, so again, I could stamp this and mask around it, but I won't go through all of that while you're watching, but I would cut around, but not, fussy cut every leaf. I would cut it similar to how the rubber is cut. That's the sticky side. I'll just stamp this here, and I'll do the rest of it. Oh, I guess I better ink it some more after I turn the camera off. I don't know if I've used this set yet. I don't know if this is one I got at my friend's yard sale. I don't remember purchasing it at picking it out from the catalog, but I think I liked it enough to spend the $5 on it at my friend's yard sale. I did buy a few sets from her that day. This may have been one of them. I'll set that aside. So you know that this will have this on it. But aren't they pretty? I like them. Okay, I'll set those aside and we'll keep going. Well, for this one, let's go, it's pretty dark, so let's just go for an abstract design. Let's try these circles. I should just put it where the glue is. That would help. I mean, this, it sticks to the block, but I might as well put it where the glue is, right? Doesn't stamp very well. I don't know why. I've stamped with this before, but I do have trouble with the whatever material the blue fern stamps are made out of. And I love their designs. Oh, I stamped it on the wrong side. That's okay. So you just get this little abstract feeling there. And I'll just stamp one of my words on it. I'll stamp artist, because I haven't used that one yet. And these letters, I'm not sure where these letters are from, what company. Or the words, I mean. Yeah, that worked. Doesn't show up very well because of the darker background, I guess. So this card might be a dud. But I'm going to finish it just in case I decide to use it. Moving on, let's try this one. It's the same, cut from the same cardstock piece, but it doesn't have quite so much stenciling, so it's not so dark. So I can stamp something in that corner at least. If anybody has an idea of what I can do to make these Blue Fern Studios stamps work better, I would appreciate it. If you could let me know, because I like them. Why did I wash that one? That's not even the one I used. I try to keep them clean. Okay, let's use one of these gentlemen down here, or the light bulb or something. I like him. Let's just go with him. This is from a Tim Holtz set called Noble Gent. And I'll stamp Exploration on it. and a ruler. So it would be fun to just make some of the colored backgrounds and not even cut them up. You can cut them up and set them aside and decorate them when you know what kind of journal you want to use them in, or just have sheets of it uncut so you can make exactly what you want. You could put it through your die cutting machine and cut shapes out of it. I think it's just fun to have some colored paper that you've colored yourself ready and waiting for you to use. I'm gonna stamp this fun and funky guy on here, I think. Oh, he's too big. I don't know if I want to use that. I'll save that for another time. This is a Stampin' Up set called Crafting Forever, and I haven't used it at all yet. So I will show you what you have to do. This is how it comes when you get the unmounted stamps. You get the decal sheet and you get the rubber. They're already punched out. So I want to use the paintbrush one. I'm going to, okay, here's how you do it. Take the rubber, peel the backing off it, and then there's a slit in the center of the backing of, and I always do it backwards, so you can access that and peel it off. So now the sticky side is right there. Take your rubber, the back side of it, and oops, oh, it sticks good. Lay it down in the right spot, and then when you pick it up, it has the backing on it, and it is sticky. It will stick to the block. This is their new technique of making their stamps, I guess. It actually feels sticky to the touch. I want to make some landscape. Doesn't show up very much because of all the stenciling. It is, you know, line stamp. It's not bold. Then we have do something creative every day, which is this one. Just have to find where the slit is. And I always do it on the back. It's this side. Much easier to find the slit when you're looking on the correct side. doesn't show up very well. Well, yeah, it does, but not as well as I would like it to. So don't use dark stenciling if you want to use this technique. Learn from my mistakes. Let's do one without stenciling. I'll put all the rest of these together after the video. I'll use one of my ladies. Again, it's going to be a vertical card. Put her, I turned it around because this corner doesn't have a lot of color, so I'll put her there. Not because she won't show up, because she will, but just to kind of fill in that corner. These are Tim Holtz stamps, and the set is called Runway. She's one of my favorites from this set. This stamp says, "Courage is being yourself every day in a world that expects you to be someone else." I think I could stamp that right there. And I'll make another one to go with her so they can both go in the same journal. I don't know what words I want to put there. I guess I'll put "Don't forget to fly" because it'll fit on there nicely. guess that's where it's going to be. Slightly crooked. That wasn't even a Stampin' Up! Stamp that fell off the block. I probably just didn't press it down hard enough. We're almost at an hour. I want to try stamping with my big letters. See how that works. And then I'll let you go. I mean, you're free to go anytime you want to, of course. I'm going to stamp kind. Let's try that one. These are Stampin' Up! I'm not going to try to line the letters up perfectly because I will fail at that. So I need it to look like I wasn't going for that. So I'll just stamp them a little bit askew. Didn't really leave enough room. Kind. Not lined up very well. See if there's something I absolutely need to use. Oh, I wanted to use these butterflies. Let's see if we can make these work on something. Put them on this pretty tag. That looks good. I'll put some of this music on, I think. With soft suede. Make sure I have it right side up. Okay, I've got some more work to do. Got some more to cut out and put together and stamp on. But I'll do that after you go bye-bye. So let me just show you what we did. There's that one. And of course I'll put some fibers in there. There's a card that says kind. Don't forget to fly. This pretty lady. Do something creative every day. Exploration. Artist. This one's not quite done yet. I like this one. Well, I've got to make some more of this with Diane. No, is it Dina Wakely? Right? Is it Diane Ravely or Dina Wakely? I can't remember. So there you go. That is my weekend play for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you give it a try. Learn from the mistakes that I made. Add your own touches. Let me know how you make out. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.